today is, yeah, it's a think tank, but I also want to talk about one message. It's got two little stories with it. I guess the question would be is how many people are familiar with the FDA initiative, which is not really the FDA initiative, but some stuff that's going on in terms of servicing of medical equipment. Well, that's a separate, that's number 2, right to repair would be number 2. But yeah, so I want to talk a little bit about that and tell you a little bit about how we got to where we got. But in the meantime, I'm happy to talk about anything else in the industry or anything else anybody wants to bring up and just kind of make it an open forum. So please don't be shy. Let's see here. Let's try that. Okay, that's nothing.
The presentation. Is it stuck?
I should do it. There we go. A little bit about me or TKA. TKA is an outsourcing HTM program. We're trying to manage their arms, so that's what we call TKA right there. Anybody ever heard of TKA? People, thanks. We haven't been around very long, about 5 years, only about 60 million, only about 120 people. So, but it's been my hope is I'm here since I've been in about a year to see if we can grow again. We do everything related to HTM to try to help out, consulting to outsourcing. All right, let's talk a little bit about how we got here and what it's all about. So I'm sure you all have heard of organizations called the original equipment manufacturers, and in particular imaging ones such as Philips, Siemens, Toshiba. So this all started, some of us older people have been on in 1996 it started, and they basically, the OEMs went to the government and said, look, we're losing market share because these organizations are, like schools, are going in and they're doing our service. Unfortunately, the government said, well, that works. 2006, they did it again. They went back to the government and said, they're taking our money. It's impacting us. Fortunately, the government said, well, get out of office. Much to their credit, I have to say, they were really smart this time. Those of you who don't know, in February 2016, they did the same thing with the Congress. They had a bill that made it so that you didn't work for an OEM, you weren't certified or qualified by an OEM, you weren't going to be allowed to work on medical pieces of equipment, whether in-house or ISO. It literally was 5 minutes away from the signature. That's what we were dealing with when an organization called IMERS. So IMERS is an organization that's made up of imaging third-party vendors representing about 100 companies worldwide. Their lawyer, Ron Kerwin, was actually sitting in the meeting and got the release requested so that they stalled it. And then they punted it to the FDA and they told the FDA, we want to look into this and go figure out what's going on. So whether you know it or not, we were pretty close to this thing, like really close. So let's talk a little bit about what the FDA did. Because Canada, FDA, everybody's familiar with what's called a 510(k) submission, right? So it's that process by which they decide whether or not that product is going to get into that and actually be something that you use to take care of patients. And they have to go through a big long process. But in particular, the Centers for Disease and Devices and Radiology, they're the ones that said, look, we got to look into this, we got to figure out what's going on. It's an organization called MICA, where MICA, right? So MICA is the group that they represent many manufacturers, most of them are imaging manufacturers, and they got together as a group. Today, we are spending approximately $2 million a year lobbying to try to put us out of business. So it wouldn't change my story. It would just be there aren't any, by the way. So the manufacturers, MICA as an organization, they have been lobbying at least since February 2016. Before that, to try to put out of business anybody including in-house programs, and I was keeping them from preventing them from working on it. So the FDA, working with the Centers for Devices and Radiology, they come up with a mission, they come up with a vision, and the whole thing around the mission is just making sure that things are safe and vision is related to making sure that you have access to the water. So that's the impetus behind. So what does that look like? What does it mean? What do we need to do to make sure that we're doing that in such a way? And one thing was real quick, back to Mr. Saying. The thing that I have to be dealing with credit for, and I get laid quite a bit as being someone who's somewhat, at least I'm objective on how it's fair. And so at the end of the day, the thing that I have to deal with credit for is finally coming up with something that people can argue. Who in their right mind, a government, anybody in this room is going to say, I'm not interested in making sure that these are safe and quality. So they finally came up with 10 kinds of overdraft members. And in fact, the driver behind it was they actually, it started out with lots of people are dying every year because not being service. That's how the whole started. People are dying because you all are dying. So if they're going to kill other guys, so I talked about the mission and the vision. So the FDA made a decision to say, all right, I guess we have to look at this. And so what they did was they actually put out a questionnaire. They asked for a proposal for information to ask people about what do you think, what's your perspective. Anybody remember that in February of 2016? By the way, Chris is also part of the stuff that we're talking about today, so he might call and ask questions. But so they said, look, we got to look into this. We got to figure out what's going on. The FDA makes their focus is to make sure that equipment meets certain standards in order to be used. They really do not know anything about what we do. They'll tell you anything. So they said, all right, we got to look into it. So February 2016, they put out a document. So we're asking people to feedback. And they were focused. They were focused in three primary areas. One of which was they asked people to find 7 words. Don't ask them sorry, but they were things like servicer, remanufacturer, refurbisher. What else? There were 7 words. And we were also supposed, anybody that wanted could respond back and say, here's what I think that means. That looks like to me. So anyways, having done all that, they also said, so what do you think about this whole thing? What do you feel about whether or not there's really a safety issue or a quality issue? So people responded. I want to see if you guys can help me figure out who you think might have said certain things. So servicers are regulated by CMS certified bodies and commission. Anyway, we kind of sense that that might be also. Yeah, in-house or something, right? Current regulatory framework plays under a burden of some stakeholders. Oh, yeah, right. So information is not being shared between stakeholder groups. Oh, yes. Service conducted by the who said this. What's funny is there's a couple of things I'll share. So one is, first of all, OEMs want us to share everything because they feel like they need to know. And the state medical devices Act 1990, they're most of at least if you don't do anything. But the point is that that's what we're supposed to drive at, so that ensured that we were making sure that if there were devices that were involved in incidents, that we were communicating that back to manufacturers so they could tell it through their review factor analysis and all that kind of stuff. So, anyways, non-significant evidence to support defective care claims industry-wide. Some of the upset. Services are fully qualified, many monitoring quality systems, and again, that's the whole thing. Anyways, as you can see, there was people gave feedback. They basically took reams of data and boiled it down to these primary candidates, and they were able to discern where they were coming from and what they wanted to do with this information. So this is kind of living history of how we're playing. It's just to give you a sense of, how big this is, how long it's going on, how serious it is, whatever. So in March of 2016, they basically sent out the notice they asked people to respond, and a lot of people did respond. In October of 2016, I'll ask questions, anybody there, or is anybody you know what took place? It was a 2-day meeting at the FDA building in Washington. There were 400 of us that sat down. Gigantic, like 5-6 times the size of this. And it was tell it had. There was this aisle right down the middle, and at the top was looking at, Supreme Court, in terms of what it was like for people sitting there. But if you came down, this side over here, three-piece suits, buttons to the nine, leather briefcases, assistants, what's that thing ever? Over on this side, kind of like what we look like here, right? Completely disemboweled, no collaboration, no, it was incredible. But for 2 days, this went out 2 days. So people from both sides of the audience had an opportunity to stand up and plead their case and, state their position as to why they felt the way they did. And some of the stuff that's noteworthy is, so the OEM had 4, there were 4 pictures. The only one I can remember thinking was, I think it was an anesthesia device, and it was a whisker, right? Yeah. And so somebody, I don't know who, how, why, if you can tell me this, but no man actually, they took a picture of the anesthesia device. I think it was one of the something. There was a whisker over it. And from their perspective, this proves that as an industry, we saw that shit work. It was insane how this thing happened to us. Fortunately, through all that, we were able to, leverage ourselves in such a way that emotionally we were allowed to be there, and we were able to make some good points to the point where the FDA goes, ouch, I really don't know where to go with this. And so, little story that won't go off yet, came back to Congress and said, look, we're way out of it, we don't know what to do. Congress said, that's not an option. You can have longer if you want, but you're going to do it. So, in May of 2018, they came out with a report, basically discerning servicers. I'll get into more next slide. Very detailed. So in October of 2018, they came out with a white paper, which is again outlining the servicers manufacturing and all that stuff, the whole deal around that. And then in December of 2018, they held another workshop. They only invited 100 of us, and they were very particular who they brought. So they brought us in-house people, they brought us OEMs, they brought us third parties, and we sat around for 2 days. And day one was interesting. We had tables that we had for lunch. They had 10 people on the table. They had 10 tables. And they tried the best they could to break it up between OEMs, third parties, regulatory people, ISO, a little bit, and we had to play out scenarios, right? So this piece of equipment is broken. It's in this area, it's that. And we had to walk through as a group, each one of us representing our positions, and try to explain how we would deal with it. And I gotta tell you, it was I think it's a pretty cool exercise. It was painstaking at times to figure out how to work through it. But we got through all that, it's pretty cool. Next day, we had, again, rooms like this, a horseshoe like table, and there was about 20 of us that selected to go sit up front. And 20 of us that were on there was to spend the afternoon fielding questions from everybody that was in the audience, which was the other 80, as well as the people that were on video chat, to ask us questions like, so from our perspective, what does that mean for you? How is this going to impact you? What do you think this looks like? Well, that precipitated some really funky stuff. And at the end of it, what was decided was that the FDA said, okay, you 20 in front of the table have just become the steering committee representing the industry to figure out where this is going to go, and you ought to figure out how to sell this. So the 20. But from that, came some stuff, so let's walk through that. So again, what they did was they looked at existing authorities because we on our side said, look, we've got CMS. We have deemed body status of people, states, and regulatory bodies coming in. There's radiology has their issue, and every single one of the departments and organizations have different strategies that they got to do all of that. And we're like, where are you getting right now? It's just not, pulled together as much as we have. It's what we have, what we believe is more restrictions. We understand that. So, we talked about the 2016 reports and all these stuff that went out with that, and then the evidence and stuff like this. So I'm going to walk through the different pieces. Here's where it starts to get. Now we start separating. So, the first thing that came out was from all that stuff we just talked about. data that they collected, and the questionnaires that they put out, all the information that they got back, they came back with this. This is a really important slide for all of us in the room. Please read it. If you have questions, ask me when I'm talking. What they decided, I told you, it was 7 words. Pretty much they threw one of the words out, and then they separated the manufacturer from everything else. And all the other words came up and roll up underneath service. So refurbish, I can't remember, I should probably. But anyways, the other words all fell into the category of service. And what the FDA came away with, which is huge for us, and my mind is outrage, whether we realize it or not. The FDA came back and said, if you're performing service, not for manufacturing, if you're performing service, you are deemed to be okay for it. Now, let's give you some caveats. I talk about all the issues going on now, it's huge sport altogether. But on surface, this was a huge win for us. Because they came back and they said, and I think into the slide, essentially what they said was, there is no evidence to say that just because you don't work for a manufacturer, trained by a manufacturer, that it doesn't mean it's not providing safe, quality service. In my mind, that's creating the end. It's huge for us. What they did say was remanufacturing. The medical companies out there today were walking around the country, and one of them was an imaging company. The years like they were on the side. But I said to them, they were telling me about how what they do is they basically take imaging equipment and they refurbish it and send it back out. And some manufacturing product. I said, well, talk a little bit about the remanufacturing, the refurbishing. I said, describe that. This basically got some refurbishing. I said, don't have to change that word. Because if you ever call it remanufacturing, you're going to get a lot of trouble. This is so big that the FDA told us that 3 months they could come out with definition and document white papers for it. And that was about a year and a half. They still haven't done it. Because this is going to create a major stir. Because that organization in particular, most people that are most afraid of this right now are that organization that I described as municipal partners. Right? It's made up of a lot of engineers, and a lot of those guys take older stuff in, clean it up, and resell it. I'm not using any other word besides clean it up and resell it. But by definition, they could in some cases deem remanufacturers and point whatever age probably the drive source is, they have to subscribe to the volume. But questions, comments, I mean, essentially this is a bolster in more detail. This is really big for us and it's big guys. So the FDA at that point, I told you they created this steering group. They created this group. And by the way, I screwed up again. If you guys remember the very first slide I wrote, medical device servicing collaborative community, and I have a red line to collaborative. So the FDA, when they first put us together as a steering committee at the top of the room, told us that we would be medical device servicing collaborative community. Just recently, as in last month, they decided that we are no longer able to call ourselves a collaborative community under the auspices of the FDA. There's a whole lot of stuff. What's interesting about this, I can remember most of the presentation I had, and it's been changed a lot since every month this year. We'll get together every month for some reason. Yeah, and so there's a huge update, right? So one of the things that came out was, it'll come up later, but I'll share it now. Remember we started all this, an organization called MITA, and the organization called MITA is comprised of OEMs. Well, guess what? They pull out of this. They're no longer even part of it. So, if I can say to my kids, I don't have this, so I can say this. Created the shit that won't let anyone away. Are you having secret? Sorry. Yeah, I mean, this whole thing happened because through MITA, who represents hundreds of manufacturing companies, they all got together, they went to several conferences and said, the people that are performing services and that don't work for us directly are killing me. That's not stuff. And they completely created the storm for us that we've been dealing with for 2 years. And then a month and a half ago, maybe 2 months ago, they all decides, I don't want to play. And just gets up and leaves.
There was also another organization that teamed up with Sarah and
so what people don't know is, I'll show you how big AccuMed is. AccuMed is actually that's how big that is. So AccuMed, this is a big side story. Lawyer thinks, lawyer becoming part of the steering. That lawyer held us at bay for 18 months to deal with antitrust and to put a charge on it. For 18 months, everything we tried to be sure, nope, that won't work. Nope, that won't work. 18 months later, we had to accomplish the same thing. She gets up and walks out. I'm done. I don't want to play this. And she had the audacity to say, primarily the reason she was leaving because we couldn't make the headway. Oh, I was hot. I don't know. Saying some things that probably should put in this hot. So she leaves. Michael, Michael walks out. Phillips walks out. The 3 biggest OEMs that created this biggest crap just picks up and walks out of the meeting with, we don't want to leave. And leaves us with it. We don't have any choice but to keep playing. So, steering committee, yes. I know we're going to talk. Yes. So, my personal opinion is this has been described since this was all planned out a long time. Anyways, so the FDA turned to us at the time and said, we are so we're just implement, initiate, we are going to put together a steering committee, and the steering committee is going to be representing 25 people, and there's going to be 5 categories. And the 5 categories are manufacturing, it's healthcare organizations, it's independent service organizations, and there's 2 other groups that got added in, that's which basically most of you I think are in-house. So you got their labels, HTOs, healthcare organizations. And then the last one is it's actually a combination of regulatory associations, which would be like the Joint Commission, ENB, AIM, and then we're also looking for patient advocacy, right? So we're looking for nurses like maybe AORN, whatever. We want to make sure that the patients are represented in some form of fashion. So the steering group got put together. So just some side notes here, right? The conclusion was there wasn't enough evidence to say that we should be able to work out. There was a whole lot around our manufacturing, but for the rest of this conversation, and unless somebody hears that we're manufacturing, which I don't think we are, we just don't want to fuss that out. So they did come away with, when they first implemented the steering committee, they basically said, look, we have 4 things we want to address. Now, these have changed dramatically. You need to understand this will be predicated condition. So we need to find a way to demonstrate to the industry, and particularly the OEMs, that in fact we are performing safe, quality, and they keep going forward effectiveness into the mix around servicing the method. They gave themselves a task back then when we first got together, was to be able to discern the difference between what is a service or what is a manufacturer. For the most part, we're all pretty comfortable with it. They also still have not delivered on the document. They said they were going to deliver on it. We did that at the time. Oops, sorry. So then there's some things around. So always have to do it, right? So the December workshop and subsequent meetings afterwards to clarify the difference between the 2, and that's when they did the questions and the whole line. And then future draft is what we're still waiting for, which is supposed to be 3 months, which is 18 months to come out. So then there was cybersecurity. I don't. How many people deal with cybersecurity? Everybody does. You know what? I'm going to say throw the shit at it. Excuse my French. I think cybersecurity is major important. I really do. But I also think it's a separate category of these services. I think they play a significant role with each other. But I've advocated, I think for the most part, I think I've convinced a bunch of people because they've actually pulled this out now. It's not part of the security any longer, it's a separate group. But my concern is everything that we do every day is tied to IT. IT has a lot of control over those hours. And as soon as we give this board credence, then it's the important service that then I think that we're losing like pay. So my perspective is I need it to be there. We need to be cognizant and mindful that we need to do certain things. But we don't want to get to the point where it overtakes servicing type of food. It's a component of servicing. It's no different than another aspect of it. You know, it's just connectivity or interoperability or standardization. So anyways, this is something we're still working on, but it's been kind of carved out of the steering committee. And there's a separate subgroup that's participating in yet another group, and they're bringing information back to us just so that we can make sure that we keep it on cuff, and then we're dealing with it appropriately, but not making it a center point of our conversation. You may have heard of that, thoughts and questions, maybe we think might and then the last one was around, foster evidence development to access quality, safety, effectiveness, and medical device services. So this was the impetus behind. So what does this look like? At this point, the OEMs are still playing a role. We're still sitting there, they're still driving around with being sick, and they're still naysaying everything they're driving. But for the most part, everybody agreed with where we're at. As I said, this last one here, at this point in this slide being created, it was still one of the major issues. It wasn't the reason it said well, that was a separate. So under this thing, collaboration happens, right? I'm still using the word collaboration because that's still what's going on. Fostering development access. So what ends up happening is the FDA decides, okay, we're almost, or at least a year, possibly a year and a few months into this, and we would count. There's, we'll call it 25 people in the room. We never get 25 people. But it was always OEMs and everybody else. It didn't matter every time. It was on the whole, even with the it was just the way it was. So finally, what happened was we had some split the groups going on at one time called meeting products. And we moved it together every 30 days. And the split groups would come back, they would actually do something else. 30 days, 3 to 4 people get together and just do something. So the FDA goes, you know what? Maybe we should figure out a way to subcommittees and see if they can be more productive. So with that, they ended up creating 4 groups. And so what they are is I'm going to go through here to essentially 4 groups. Training. What is the right way and what's a formal process that we can use as industry standard so that we can have some kind of training that would ensure people are getting at least some sort of level, minimum skill sets associated with maintaining equipment. There's one around education, which really is it's really referring to precision on that touchstone. I interpret it as Samantha's working on a team that's really putting together definitions of standardization and helping people understand what education might be appropriate in order to sustain and demonstrate quality and service. Then there's 2 others, one of which is one of the things that was absolutely right from the get-go, both sides could agree in varying degrees. They could agree in varying degrees in terms of everyone was believes that there is value in putting together some sort of QMS quality management system. Initially, I'll tell you frankly, they said that they themselves were going to do 13, 485, and saying that everybody else. And the FDA takes that back to the America's way. We are not good at prescribing. We're not going to mandate that people have to do this because essentially it's like a supporting package. Only the ISO 134 would buy it. So they said, no, we're going to take a step back. We're going to say people just have to have elements of a QMS system that demonstrates that they're trying to do things that demonstrate that they're providing safe quality services. So what they said was they're going to get a study that would go out and figure out which elements of 9,145, any other ones that are out there that then we can then bring into the fold. It's kind of like the CMS, right? So CMS mandates this, and then Joint Commission, the DMV, has their interpretation of that, of which you then interpret back. And as long as you're showing evidence in that direction, then you're going to find fully the same thing here. Rather than being descriptive, they're trying to give you guardrails to say, this is what you kind of showing, and here's how you do it. So, yeah, so there was the quality management system elements of that. Oh, by the way, the person that was chair of that was the MITRE representative, so he was that part. And then the last of the subgroups is the one I'm responsible for, which Chris and I are working on together, which is, and I'm excited to tell about this, is we are creating KPIs for the industry that all of us could use to demonstrate what mindset quality service. So I'm really proud to say that we have a great small group, 6 regions, and we have put together a list of about 15, 17 KPIs. And we're going through the process now of defining very specifically what makes up the numerator, what makes up the denominator, and where they would come from, the components we see on the system. And then we're going to, our next thing is from us as a group, we're willing to put stuff together and see if we can policy benchmarks threshold. And then it's the FDA to see if they would consider that as either being, I don't think they would either say this is a best rule, but they would use it as best practice and or white type papers and things like that. So that's what we're working towards. I believe no matter what else happens, we're going to get this roll on and it's going to be something that's going to be valuable for all of us. So those are the 4 subgroups that we're put together. At this point, I would say it's very interesting. I've done this conversation. I'm going to have this time last year. What I find interesting is people raise their hands, said they knew about this. This only because I think it's last year, this part. Right? And those of you that want to hear last year, did you know some of the stuff was going on? See one of them. Yes. Okay. So there's another component to this, right? So Chris alluded to it this morning, if you got it in his class. But who's heard of what's called the right to repair? Okay. You asked the question earlier, is there some sort of alternative other day? What would you think? Not a right to repair. What they've been doing is giving automotive, so automotive started, manufacturers for GM, so they went and fought it. The airplane industry went and fought it. Farming industry went and fought it. And guess what? I work on it. Depending on which side of the fence you're sitting on, people say, well, it wasn't the only initiated, and we did so we protect ourselves. I can tell you that didn't happen. We don't have enough initiative, we don't have enough inertia, we don't have enough support in any one particular place that we thrive. The only answer to what they did, what they were trying to do is fight it so that it's clean. So in New Hampshire, Massachusetts, and several other states, they actually took the states to court to prevent us from being able to work with it. Fortunately, they didn't make it. Fortunately, we heard about the representation of state drivers and others that have come and said what that ever had. But I've actually been asked to give dissertations or have conversations with what right people use to go to these different places, these different states, Arizona, membership, 140 members that are on the organization. So name off some third party service providers. 626. No. And primarily imaging service providers. So ETA is a member. So like sorry. Yeah, all those kind of people behind. like 626, all parts, tri-energy, those kind of things. Those are all your Heinz organizations. So anyways, like I said, so this right through here, so they literally go state by state. And like I said, I can usually feedback in terms of New Hampshire, Arizona, Massachusetts, and whatnot. We're doing everything we can state by state by state. But one thing that you guys need to be aware of is, and I guess I'm going to see if I can find it on slide. I'm not going all over the place, but I told you about the stakeholders. So just real quick, I'll send you these couple of slides. I'm a person, I'm not sure pictures. I know some people think picture person point in time picture. And I talked to when we got together for the first time, was at the Amy office, and I asked them to hire us at work for a while now. They hired people to tell stories. Storyboards with this. And I wanted to tell like this deal about. So we put this together in that meeting that we were at. And this just talks about, purpose, why we got together. You can tell the story, you just engage with working with people to talk about, right? So it's a structure, beside that structure, how we came to make decisions and what that looks like. Talking way back to the very first meeting, started talking about what's going to be our rolling rates. And we talked about fair representation, that's how we came to that fact that there would be 5 representatives representing the 5 different categories. But in fact, there could be more people. It's just that there will only 5 votes. Each group is only 5 votes. Then we talk about how do we get from where we are right now to where we want to be, not really know what that is. But I don't know, I like these kind of things. So let's talk about where we're at today. So, and I'll tell you, once again, I don't always have the most popular things. So there's 2 kinds of people. These people right here, Senator Ron and Representative Clark, right? And so they have decided that they want to keep out of repair, and they want to make sure that we have access and we have everything we need to be able to provide service. I quit. This is primarily predicated on, here's one, so this just happened, this one. And COVID's been around since March 16th, because I know that's kind of that day, I wasn't sure how we did that. And yet, they're just getting around and doing this now. And the point is behind this whole thing is because of COVID. Because we need to make sure that the ISOs, the HDOs, have what they need to service that. Well, first of all, I'm not very curious about this. How many of you have actually filled your hospital with COVID patients, overflow, and don't have enough beds to support what's going on? No. So that's number one. So in my mind, the driver behind what they're doing this for is distancing. And I have a bunch of my colleagues and peers running through the street, drinking beer, and eating, talking about how great this is, because this is the greatest like rent. You know what scares the hell out of me? When this COVID thing is over and it's healed, whether we get vaccination, we get through wherever it's going to go, are they going to care? I love the fact that it's set. Don't get me wrong. I don't care what the reason is. Candidly, how we got some of it. But what I'm scared to death of is they won't give this is the fact. Because of COVID, at which point the COVID goes away, because this support will go away. That's what's scary. So, yes, ma'am.
So one thing is, I forgot that Representative Clark, but Senator White, he is very big on, he hopes this is just that kind of start. For that, he was big on the unlocking cell phone teams on Apple. So he thinks it's heaven for it. It seems more than it's that manufacturers are kind of, using that as, oh yeah, we want to do this, yeah, okay. So I think hopefully he will kind of be that actually that make this not just be during the state of emergency or whatever public is written. Because he really did not feel that, he's not feel that manufacturers are using that as you have to come for us, you have to find a special tool for licensing to build.
So he's in favor of that, and Yeah. Now, if it's $100 now, I mean, we're spending $2 million a year. Like every ounce. For what it's worth, no way for care. I mean, I've been to the FDA office the last year and a half, 8 dozen times. We've sat in front of a dozen different guys. They're all saying, listen, I appreciate what you're saying, but they're all saying, a lot of my money comes from the OEMs. I mean, it's bad, right? I mean, Amy, we'll say, Amy or two, it's a wonderful reason, it's love them, okay? But there's, first of all, we just have to wrap up conversations so you guys don't understand. How many people are in this industry right now? United States. How many? Close. 45,000 in this industry. That represents OEMs, third parties. How many people are going to be gone in the next 3 years?
25. 20%.
I'm sorry?
20%.
Yeah, that's right. 20%. What's 20% of 45,000? Round figures, 8 to 10,000. Think about that. Anybody want to know how many people are coming in here? 2 to 300. 1,000. So in about 3 to 4 years, anybody got a clue how the hell we're going to do what we do? We ain't doing what we're doing today because we're not going to be enough files. Just think of that. So we got to figure out how to do that. So anyways, 100% accurate. I just don't want to lose sight of what goes where, what goes down the issue, where it all sounds like well, we need to work. This thing is made to go. All right, I'm just going to give you my perspective. You can't come to these with all our have a day's perspective. So here's what I think this is all about. Surround safety equality, and I can't say enough. I commend those guys. It's crazy to see how they put this together. No one can say they're not interested in safety equality. But I really think it boils down to these 5 categories. It's around who's got the right skill set, who's got the right resources, who's got the right parts, who's got the right technology, and where are you geographically? Because for those of us that have been around for a while, like around this and 80% of the marketplace, pretty easy to walk in on people geographically put out in the right places to support that kind of work, right? But as OEMs are losing market share because of competitiveness, because people don't have enough money to buy stuff, because people are, it's really hard to justify having been run many field service organizations. How do you justify a full-time person with a car, with all the stock, keep them trained, and having 3 or 4 MRIs in the territory? All the way, by the way, there may be 6 or 8 hour drive from one to the other, and they got in a contract that will be for 4 hours. It's really long. I look at my for the OEMs all. With the same token, I appreciate the position. And so it's a balance. We got to figure it out. So this is my perspective. We want to be able to do it all. They want to be able to do it. Never going to happen. It's going to be somewhere. Somewhere they're going to have a percentage. And those of us again that are around they're expensive at that. Once in a while, we'll get a little better to their side. Sometimes the better percentage goes back. Here's what I'll say. I've been saying this since 1996. I'm going to keep saying it to the day and hopefully get out of this industry for the next 5 to 7 years. But not that I want to hopefully all relax. But at the end of the day, here's what I believe this with all my heart. And so I'm asking the challenge. If every single person in this room went back and bought a service, bought a PM only contract on every single piece of medical equipment in your inventory, I promise you, I can run the risk every day. Within 3 to 6 months, the OEM will be begging us to come back and have a conversation. Because if we said, hypothetical situation, like 10,000 pieces of equipment, and then even if you just dealt with the high-end stuff, and you just dealt with the surgical stuff, and the stuff in the ER, and maybe even patient monitoring, and we said to the manufacturers, I'm signing a PM only contract, and I'm going to hold you to the letter of your manuals, and I'm going to be videotaping you to see that you get it done when you're supposed to, the way you say you do it in your manuals. I guarantee you we would crush them outside of 6 months. They don't have enough resources, they don't do it the way they say they do it in their manuals, we would absolutely put them in a hands. We'll never do it. No one would be willing to do it. But I'm telling you, they would come crawling back underneath to say, how do we work? And for those of you that have been around for a while, and understand how this works, right? How many times can you think of in your career where there's been an aggressive OEM, such as stickers? I'm not trying to say anything particular. But an organization that understands, just like a car, whether it's your air conditioner, or your refrigerator, or your stereo system, how many of you understand that when an organization works with you so that you make sure that your product is working when you want it, the way you want it, the way you need it, then when it comes time for replacement, what's the first place you're going to go? You're going to go back to that manufacturer because you're happy with them. And yet these manufacturers are idiots because they fight you tooth and nail to make $100 here, or $1,000 here, $20,000 here, when in fact they're losing sight of the long project because when it's time to replace it, that's the last freaking company you're going to go to because we had to fight tooth and nail over it. And they're too short-sighted to figure it out. What's really killer, and Chris would tell you this, is what kills me is you got GE and Phillips in particular, Siemens not so much right now. Those guys have GE does about $600 million for buying business today, not theirs. So if they put us out of business, how are they going to do their own $600 million? Phillips about $150 million. All of a sudden they say you can't work on it unless you, what are they going to do? They got their own money they got to figure out. They're just stupid. Anyways, this is my little deal. So, for what it's worth. I talked about the 4 different groups. I think they're going really, really well. I do believe that every one of these things, we are looking for somebody to come manage that one. With my leaving, but I don't think this is going to be what's going to happen. This is going to be great. All 4 of these things are going to come with mission. They're going to be white paper type things. And the FDA is going to pick up on it. And I'll share with you is again, we take a little bit of a step back. I believe I'm always going to do the glass sample. I think it's going to be a good thing. The FDA came to us and started pulled out. We're going to come over. We do have a couple OEMs that we're going to call a couple more OEMs. We'll get our fiber. But the FDA said, look, here's what's going to happen. We don't want this to be FDA set. You also cannot be a collaborative community. We gave you that moniker. We accept that. But we're pulling it back. You can't be a collaborative community right now. Because in order to get the moniker of collaborative community, for order for FDA to bless us as a collaborative community, we have to go through an application process. We have to make sure we dot all our I's, cross all our T's, and we go through the process so that they accept this as that. And then we can deemed and looked at entirely different. So they pull themselves out of an active membership. They're participating in from a distance. And we're starting the process accepted as an entity community. So I believe it's only getting us more credence. And as we go down this process, we dot our I's and cross our T's. We give the OEMs an opportunity to participate, whether they do or not, that's the prerogative. But then they can't go back and say, we can change this. Oh shit, we pulled out. You didn't want to make the ticket. Too bad, as we said. So that's my perspective about that. So right now, we're in the process of, we actually just ratified some accepted that. We've got through the lane, not worried about being my trust credit. And steering committees now, we're forming a formal steering committee, putting membership chairs to all that, making sure that there's at least 5 representatives to the 5 different groups. And that's pretty much it. I don't know how to do that. I get glasses, just as usual.